Hey guys, I'm back, and today I will be talking about Gen V, a show that is a spin-off of The Boys, which is a phenomenal TV show, by the way. I don't usually like TV shows, but The Boys is very good, especially Invincible too, which is kind of related to The Boys. But today, we will be reviewing the finale in the whole series of Gen V. So, let's begin. I heard reviewers say that they expected it to be PC, uh, because it's about teens and it's kind of a spin-off of The Boys, and they think it's like, how studios like to cash grab and make spin-offs and all that. I didn't expect that. I knew since it was in the vicinity of The Boys, it would be good no matter what it was, even if it was a spin-off. Like the show Diabolicals, I knew that would be good too. So yeah, going into it, I knew it would be at least not bad, but okay. That's what my expectations were. Not bad, but okay. And it turned out to be good, so that's good. That's good to hear. It kept some of the boys' elements of edginess, but with teens, which I liked a lot. I liked their spin on that. Different perspective is always great when it comes to spin-off. Rather than having the same perspective in a spin-off, it's great to have a different one, especially with the side of the superheroes. Kate was my favorite character overall. Usually, you'd think I say Marie, the main character, but I think Kate is probably my favorite character because she had the most character growth from not really good, but she wasn't really bad in the beginning. So yeah, pretty good. Went from a good character, very caring, very upright, into a evil villain by the end, and we'll get into that in the end of this review. Unpopular opinion, but Marie wasn't as good as I expected for a main character, at least. She didn't really grow on me like I said Kate did. She was just okay. She was okay with her role. Not saying the actor is bad. It's just her character didn't really attach to me. Even though they gave her the backstory of killing her parents in the end, she used her blood powers that she learned from her life, but it didn't really hit the landing with me. I can't really explain it, but maybe later on I could explain it. But for now, it didn't really land with me. But she wasn't bad. It just wasn't the best main character they could have had. Um, Homelander's ending was pretty expected. I knew he would eventually come in the show, and the ending was, yeah, the perfect time to come. But even though it was expected, I still appreciated it, and it was a great cameo scene. Rather than some random cameo, it was a great cameo that added to the story even more and elevated it and connected it to the boys. Which is another thing I'll talk about later, how this did it better than Marvel, even though this is actually like a parody of Marvel. It did it better than Marvel, but we'll get into that later too. Speaking of Marvel, I love the similarity it had with the X-Men, the Brotherhood versus the X-Men, the saving our species versus being at peace with the humans. I love that similarity because I did love the X-Men growing up as a kid watching all the movies. So I love how they kind of had the similarity in it. And I don't know about you guys, but I was on the side of the Brotherhood, the Magneto team. They had a compelling narrative, which is the humans don't like us, the humans see us as villains, so why don't we just be villains, which was compelling to me. I mean, if I was an X-Men, I would, or a mutant, I would join the Brotherhood. But anyways, that's a different rant. But yeah, I love that similarity to X-Men, which is probably one of my favorite superhero groups. The ending obviously was great. The way they made a spin on it and made the villains the heroes and all that, that was a great ending. I didn't expect that, and that was a great way to end it, but also connect it to the boys, which is my other point. Usually with a Marvel, they, at least for the recent phases, phase 4, 5, 6, whatever it is now, I don't even know, no one cares. They love to make the movies just about setups, and even though they do have decent stories, it was mostly just setups and cameos and all of that. But the boys did it right, where they had a main storyline, right? They didn't really bring in that many characters. They maybe mentioned one or two characters in it, but they had a main storyline with main characters and different perspective. It almost felt like a different world from the boys. But in the end, they somehow made their storyline merge with the boys' season 4 storyline perfectly, with the ending just merging perfectly with what is to come with the boys. And that is what Marvel is missing. They've had that before in the past. They had it for 10 years, and they did a great job with it, but somehow I don't know what's wrong with Marvel. That's a whole nother video I'll talk about. But they did it in a perfect way, and I love it. I just can't wait for The Boys and the season 2 of Gen V 2. Can't wait for that too. But anyways, to sum up my conclusion for this review, I like how it felt like its own storyline, but also seemed to merge in with The Boys season 4 without seeming being forced, which was great. And it didn't have too many cameos from The Boys to overshadow our characters, which was also great. Overall, it was just a phenomenal show. Not as good as The Boys. I'll tell you. I'll say that now. It's not as good as The Boys, but it's very good. It's very comparable, which is great. And it's not just okay as I expected. But yeah, see you guys next week for another review. Hopefully Loki.